Welcome to today's session on our Ask the Expert series. This is our second session on Business Central, and with your valuable feedback, we will continue to conduct more sessions in future. So today we are going to discuss about 6 most important feature release, I believe, in Business Central 2021 Wave 1. What are those 6 topics? We will talk about what are the changes coming up for the disk space allocated to you when you buy a new Business Central instance or upgrade to it from earlier version of Dynamics Nav. The second point, Business Central integration with Microsoft Teams, probably the most common collaborative tool right now. We also picked up a very interesting topic about Business Central development license. This can bring a lot of value for the customers who has an in-house tech team. Fourth one is extending Business Central standard report. With this, things became much simpler, much simplified in report designing. We will also explore a new onboarding expert experience for customers, making it simpler for their new employees to learn a feature in Business Central quickly and independently, or helping them configuring Business Central for the first time. And lastly, one of my favorite features, ability to correct wrongly entered dimensions in general ledger entry. So I hope this will be an interesting session for you. Come join me in exploring these features one by one. Just to give you a background, Microsoft releases 2 major updates for Business Central every year. One is in April, which is called Wave 1, and we are discussing about this release of 2021 in this session. And another one will be in October and is called Wave 2. Now there are so many more new features released in Business Central 2021 Wave 1 other than the 6 features we are talking about. And you can check the finer aspects of those features from Microsoft documentation. We hope with this session, you will have a better idea about this release and how they could possibly improve your productivity and in some cases bring in some savings for you as well. Let's take up the first one, disk space allocation. Effective 1st of July, Microsoft is really making it simpler and cheaper how much disk space you will be entitled to. If you checked last 1 year's discussion on various forums, you could see there are a lot of unhappiness about the space entitlement as well as the cost of additional space if you need for your Business Central instance. The comments and suggestions came from both sides of the table, customer as well as the partners. It's not really restricted to like that, okay, customers are unhappy or the partners are unhappy. Everyone was really unhappy about all these space things or disk space allocations for each Business Central instances. So in fact, all these complaints and all those unhappiness comes from the fact that no partners wants their customers to pay extra unreasonably. So what is changing? 80 gigabyte base entitlement for the subscription remains the same, but customer will get an additional 2 gigabyte per user in case of essential subscription and 3 gigabyte per user in case of premium subscription. So from a different perspective, it is recognized that the greater number of users you possibly have a bigger operation and correspondingly a bigger database, need for a bigger database. Accordingly, your entitlement of the space is also be higher. So all those things are changing. You will automatically will have a higher size database. Your entitlement will be bigger. And I'm sure this entitlement will be good enough for most of the customers. But still, someone needs more space. From 1st of July, you can buy them much cheaper. It's about, say, 1/4 of the currently prevailing rate. Now, in continuation of the previous discussion, let's compare a situation where a customer's database size is about, say, 120 gigabyte, and they have, let's say, 20 premium users. Yeah, I understand a customer's database cannot be just 120 gigabyte when they are starting afresh in Business Central. But this may be true if the customer is migrating from earlier version of Dynamics NAV, and maybe they were using NAV for many years. So currently, to get a 120 gigabyte disk space, you will need to pay an additional £1,208 or similar amount in various currency, because you pay £30.2 per 1 gigabyte extra disk space at this moment. And that too, customer needs to pay per month. So that comes to like £14,496 a year, quite a bit of money. But come July, the same disk space requirement will cost the customer no additional money, because 20 premium user will give them an additional, or gives you an additional space entitlement of 60 gigabyte. That's 3 gigabyte multiplied by 20 users. And that's quite a bit of savings for the customer. You are saving like £15,000 a year in this kind of scenario. Similar, if you do the similar calculation, you will see that obviously there are a lot of savings if your database is much bigger than 80 GB. As a quick guide from where you can check your space allocation and utilizations, go to your Business Central Admin Center, and in the left-hand pane, you could see an options called Capacity. This will give you a very good overview of your space allocation and utilization. This also gives you options to view the space utilization by individual database tables. That information can be quite handy for you to form a strategy to manage the allocated space better. Microsoft Teams integration with the Business Central. This is something really interesting and useful feature improved with Business Central Web 1. This feature simply allows you to paste a link to any Business Central record in Microsoft Teams chat, and it will expand that into a compact info card, just like the screenshot I have put in this screen. And you can share it with your co-workers, and this includes fact boxes and other embedded content such as charts as well. You and your colleague can further edit fields, initiate workflows, and take action from the window without having to switch apps. That's going to make it interesting and useful for you. So as a business value, it really helps you to make decisions faster as a team by bringing business data into Microsoft Teams, the hub for collaboration actually from Microsoft 365. So whether you are in conversation with co-workers, preparing cross-department financial budget, or bringing roles together for an important project, the Business Central app for Teams streamlines conversations and allows you to act on your Business Central data without leaving Microsoft Teams. Now, in the previous slide, I showcased a screenshot of Berlin guest chair item card from the Business Central standard database. But it's not about just furniture or just the standard functionalities in Business Central. The Business Central app for Teams is designed to work with your customizations and solutions as well. No matter your role, industry, or geography, You can paste a link to almost any business entity that you work with in Teams, and it will expand into a beautifully displayed information card. Development license. This topic is very close to my heart. I remember writing a blog on this almost 2 years back, looking at the direction Microsoft is moving towards. So I'm saying here that development license is discontinued, but in reality, it's not really discontinued. I mean, don't laugh at me. So what exactly I'm trying to say? What I'm saying is that development license is not discontinued. Rather, the development license component will be automatically added to customer's license from now on. So in reality, it is as good as that very concept of development license is discontinued. Let's explore this a bit more. Till now, I mean, before 2021 Web 1, development experiences in cloud and on-premise was very similar. Was not very, my apology, it was not very similar. In cloud, you don't really need a development license, or rather license components, to develop anything in the object range between 50,000 to 99,999. So those who worked in earlier version of Dynamics NAV, they can relate to it. We always needed a partner development license to develop in Dynamics NAV. It's a kind of exclusive rights to partner for the NAV development. And there is reason for it. But that will be a separate story altogether. But from the advent of Business Central, you never needed a license for developing in SaaS or cloud environment. Development was always open for both the partners as well as the customers. That's a great value for the customer who has a relatively trained in-house tech team. But the Business Central on-prem, till now, things were very similar to earlier version of Dynamics NAV. Means you needed a developer license and it was exclusive rights for the partner only to develop something in the on-prem. That particular development experience is changing now. Things are becoming uniform across the platform. So now as a Business Central on-prem customer, your in-house team can develop new extension and app as well. Obviously, you will start with simpler developments and over the time will get better trained for complex tasks. Anyway, your partner is always there to help you out in case you have a complex case. Report extension. That's the thing everyone is talking about now. What I feel, it can be great help to customers. As a partner, we receive maximum requests for modification of existing standard reports from our customers. And most of the times it is simple changes in the report. That kind of requests are there. A very common scenario is to customize reports by adding more fields to the dataset and modifying the layout. Until now, you would have to take full ownership of the report. For example, create a new report, copy the data items and add your changes and modifying the layout. All these steps just to make small changes and thereby forcing everyone to maintain a full report. And the process itself was not simple. So with report extensibility, things became much simpler. And as we were discussing the discontinuation of development license previously, probably customers can take up the simpler report modification on their own by simply creating a new report extension, adding new fields to the dataset, and creating a new layout to the existing report. And as most document type reports, means sales invoice or purchase order kind of reports, can be designed in Microsoft Word. So anyone having a very basic tech understanding could be up to speed very quickly in basic report modification. How a standard report extension looks like? Let's have a quick overview of the same in the next slide. So why things are so simple? Don't get too intimidated by the code displayed in the screenshot. Almost all the code displayed in the screenshot gets generated by a simple snippet or code template. You don't really need to write that many lines of code. Here is an example. I'm trying to customize or extend the standard report sales invoice and adding an additional column to be displayed in the report. It's just that one line starting with column definition is written by me, and the rest of the code is all got generated automatically. You need help or want to understand it in more details? We can always connect on this later. New onboarding experience. Get up and running with Dynamics 365 Business Central faster. That's the business value of new onboarding experience. This has several subcomponents, but the most useful two features for the customers will be improved company setup experience and in-app contextual help improvements. Customers want to get up and running with Dynamics 365 Business Central easier and faster. This new concept of getting started checklist, which is part of improved company setup experience, allows partners to bring checklist to the customer that enables them to complete the last mile setup by themselves, not depending on a consultant or a partner to assist. Beautiful thing. So when you create a new company, this getting started checklist automatically pops up and helps you complete the basic setups step by step. Similarly, new visual aids help call out features in various screens and key business process fields and actions in Dynamics 365 Business Central. This allows the customer to self-learn and get educated on how to start using the product. These visual aids can be authored by partners as well as the customers. Yes, I'm saying the customers because we were discussing about the developer license discontinuations and everything a couple of minutes back. So yes, customer can also author this onboarding experiences as well on their own. Think about how a well-authored call-out information in various screens can be of great value for you when a new employee joins you and you need to train them in Business Central quickly. Now we have reached our final topic, dimensions correction. And I'm sure this will be the favorite topic to all business users at customer's end. So with this, you can now correct dimensions for general ledger entries. Yes, only general ledger entries to ensure your financial reporting gives you accurate insights without having to make notes of temporary data entry mistakes. Mistakes happens. With this new feature, for one or more GL entries, you can change the dimension values, add dimensions, or remove them as well. When a data entry mistakes happen, either in general entries or document posting or data added through APIs, it distorts the picture of the business you get from financial analysis. Often this data is used only for financial reporting and does not necessarily need to be corrected on the source document. So how this works? The right-hand side step recorded video can explain the simple process of managing it. On the general ledger entry, you just need to search for general ledger entries, and on the general ledger entries page, you will find a correct dimension actions, which lets you correct dimension on posted entries. It allows you editing the dimension values, the already previously entered dimension values, or nothing is a dimension is missed out completely, adding a new dimensions you can, or you can also remove the dimension. You can also write a comment about why you are changing the dimension. This explanation may help you later on understand where exactly you are making the maximum mistakes in dimension entries. However, just to avoid misuse of these features, administrators can also lock dimensions for correction, specify that correction must respect to the closed accounting periods, and view a change log for a given GL entry in order to revert the entry to its original value. Those are the safeguards are in place so that it should not be misused. That were the 6 most impactful features of Business Central 2021 Web 1, I felt. What's your view about it? Or which feature is your preferred one you felt? Let us know your feedback. And now let's a little bit about who we are. We are an UK-based Microsoft Dynamics ERP Gold certified partner. We have our head office in Milton Keynes and satellite office in India. We are 60 strong product experts and have been in business for over 16 years, focusing on Microsoft Dynamics product families for medium and small enterprises. We are not just reseller of Microsoft products, we also have developed a number of vertical solutions or IPs for NAV and Business Central. You can visit our website to find out more about them. If you have any queries, please don't hesitate to contact us via the email IDs provided.